In the rhythm of a city that never truly sleeps, Nami's story begins. A woman who built her dreams, one project, one late night, one sacrifice at a time. For years, work was her heartbeat, constant, measured, safe. But tonight, something in her shifted. As the rain slid down her office windows like quiet applause, she promised herself, "Tonight, I choose love." She drove through the slick Seattle streets, her heart lighter than it had felt in years. A small gift bag on the seat beside her, a framed photo of better days inside. But when she opened the door to Philip's apartment, the world she knew fell apart. Laughter that wasn't hers, another woman's perfume in the air, and the man she thought she'd spend forever with had already moved on. She didn't scream, didn't demand explanations. She simply turned. The city lights blurring through her tears as she ran into the rain. That night, her best friend Hallie found her 2 blocks away, soaked and trembling. In Hal's apartment, wrapped in a blanket and silence, Nami finally allowed herself to break. Her friend whispered, "Maybe this is the sign, Nami. Maybe it's time to start over." Weeks later, fate agreed. A new project, a transfer opportunity in Seoul. The one city she'd always dreamed of but never truly known. Her father's city. She packed quietly, not running away this time, but running towards something new. In Seoul, the skyline rose like memory and possibility combined. At her new office, Nami's presence turned heads. Sharp, composed, with kindness behind her eyes. And among those who noticed her was Joon, the vice president, precise, brilliant, and quietly haunted by the weight of expectations. He first saw her as the elevator doors opened. A stranger, holding a portfolio, bathed in morning light. Something in him paused. They met again at a company launch party. Nami had worked tirelessly for the presentation, but the night blurred into champagne and exhaustion. When she stumbled out to the lobby, it was Joon who caught her hand. Ms. Eunji tried to help, but Nami was too dizzy to speak. So Joon, always composed, booked her a hotel room upstairs and made sure she was safe. He never meant to stay. But as she fell asleep, her project portfolio slipped from her bag. He read it and found in her words the heart his company had forgotten. The next morning, she woke to find coffee on the table and Joon by the window. Their eyes met, half awkward, half curious, as if both had seen something in the other they couldn't yet name. That moment began a quiet pull neither of them resisted. But timing is never kind. Office whispers, family pressure, duty pulling them apart. And when Nami realized how deep she'd fallen, she did what she thought was right. She left, back to Seattle, back to silence. 3 months later, she discovered she was pregnant. 2 years passed. Her son, Min-joon, had his father's smile and her determination. Life was steady again until fate placed Joon in Seattle for a company launch. They met by accident in a cafe. Him, frozen mid-step, her, heart racing as Min-joon ran toward him, and in that instant, everything came rushing back. There were arguments, a custody battle, pride and pain tangled in love they never admitted aloud. But time, as always, softened what it touched. When Nami brought their son to Seoul for the summer, she saw Joon again. No longer just the vice president, but a man trying to be a father, a son, and maybe something more. In the glow of floating lanterns, he asked her to stay. And this time, she did. In another life, maybe they would have met differently, without timing, distance, and all the quiet heartbreak between. But life has a way of stitching together what's meant to stay. Even across oceans, even after years of silence, between Seattle and Seoul, they found something not perfect, but real. Love that learned to wait, forgiveness that grew in the spaces between words, and peace, not in endings, but in understanding. Sometimes love doesn't return us to who we were. It shows us who we were always meant to be. Between Seattle and Seoul, a story of distance, discovery, and quiet love